Farmer Giles of Ham is about a farmer, Egidius de Hammo, also called Giles, who would later save his village from a dragon. Farmer Giles' full name was Egidius Ahenobarbus Julius Agricola de Hammo. The dog, Garm, had a short name like many dogs who were content with short names. The giant would arrive in the field of Farmer Giles to do some damage. In the middle of the night, Garm would see the giant and try to warn Giles of it. Farmer Giles seemed to be uninterested, but it seems it was mainly due to his lack of understanding and belief in the tale from his dog at first. But he ended up believing the dog's tale, when his wife would tell him that if he believes the dog, then take his advice, be bold and quick. Farmer Giles would use his blunderbuss to ward off trespassers. His blunderbuss had a wide mouth that opened like a horn, and it did not fire balls or slugs, but anything that he could spare to stuff in. However, unlike other ones, Farmer Giles' blunderbuss did not do execution since he seldom loaded it. Through this blunderbuss he would see the giant. Some may well ask what a blunderbuss was. Indeed, this very question, it is said, was put to the 4 wise clerks of Oxenford, and after thought they replied, "A blunderbuss is a short gun with a large bore firing many balls or slugs and capable of doing execution within a limited range without exact aim," now superseded in civilized countries by other firearms. This blunderbuss would have much greater effects than he envisioned, not only to the giant but to himself as he landed on his back. He would fire the blunderbuss again and would be known for this very task, becoming a local figure, hero of the countryside. Farmer Giles liked it and so did Garm. Through this feat of using the blunderbuss to shoot off the giant, Garm was frightened and proud of his master and informed the village of his deed. "Come out! Come out! Come out! Get up! Get up! Come and see my great master! He is bold and quick! He is going to shoot a giant for trespassing! Come out!" Many shook hands with him, though a few, such as the parson, miller, and blacksmith, would slap him on the back, though he would invite them to his house anyways. Farmer Giles would find the next day as a result that he was the hero of the countryside. Even the king heard of Farmer Giles' deed and wanted to celebrate with a dragon's tail. He sent a letter along with a belt and long sword. Farmer Giles suddenly had the reputation he didn't expect to acquire. In the village, there was a custom where dragon's tail was to be served at a king's Christmas feast. However, dragons were getting scarce there, with none being seen in the Midland realm for over a year. While the custom still stood, the royal cook would make the mock dragon tail with cake and almond paste with cunning scales of hard icing sugar to be eaten after the dinner on Christmas, and which would be much better than real tail. Meanwhile, a dragon, Chrysophylax Dives, would arrive again after the scarcity of dragons, mainly to invade the Middle Kingdom in which Farmer Giles lived. Chrysophylax Dives was his name, for he was of ancient and imperial lineage and very rich. He was cunning, inquisitive, greedy, well-armored, but not overbold. Again, Garm would venture out and warn Giles, this time of Chrysophylax. Meanwhile, the king would be looking forward to have a real dragon's tail on Christmas. After the New Year holiday, the dragon would continue moving closer to Ham and find out about a scandal of the king's knights from Farmer Giles as he got more reputation from the people. The dragon would move to Cursitum, or Oakley in the vulgar tongue, to add 2 young people and a parson to his diet. Farmer Giles would learn from the parson that his sword was actually Tailbiter, to which he felt a sense of pride and encouragement. "Our good Egidius," he said, "by the king's grace is now the owner of Cardi Mardax, the famous sword that in popular romances is more vulgarly called Tailbiter. That sword had belonged to Belomarius, the greatest of all the dragon slayers of the realm." One day he would go out to see the dragon. Despite trying to hide the sword, it dropped and the dragon would find it. The sword would circle itself and smite the dragon's tail, though Giles didn't know how to kill a dragon. Farmer Giles would chase Chrysophylax to the court on January 14th, the feast of Hilarius and Felix. There, a message would come to summon him to the king to be knighted, which would be considered a high honor. "We, Augustus, BAAP and MREX, etc. make known that we have determined, for the safety of our realm and for the keeping of our honor, that the worm or dragon styling himself Chrysophylax the Rich shall be sought out and continually punished for his misdemeanors, torts, felonies, and foul perjury. All the knights of our royal household are hereby commanded to arm and make ready to ride upon this quest, so soon as Master Egidius A.J. Agricola shall arrive at this our court. Inasmuch as the said Egidius has proved himself a trusty man and well able to deal with giants, dragons, and other enemies of the king's peace, now therefore we command him to ride forth at once, and to join the company of our knights with all speed. It will be written and signed in triplicate for Giles, Parson, and a third one to be nailed on the church door. They would ride the wild hills to continue catching Chrysophylax and trace his steps. He would ride a gray mare. They would find the dragon on the 7th day of riding, or the Feast of Candlemas, as Tailbiter would leap out of its sheath, right when the dragon would leap out of his cave. The battle of the Bridge of Ham would end, and Farmer Giles will become the king of the little kingdom, crowned in Ham in the name of Egidius Draconarius. Farmer Giles of Ham was set in his village a little kingdom. While the outer walls or boundaries of it are vague, the capital was clear in the southeast. Geographical knowledge is not Farmer Giles' strong point. While he has lived in the lands of the little kingdom, he is not super aware of the regions aside from it, such as north and west. Additionally, an excuse for presenting a translation of a very curious tale out of its very insular Latin into the modern tongue of the United Kingdom may be found in a glimpse that it affords of life in the dark period of the history of Britain, not to mention the light that it throws on the origin of some difficult place names. Some may find the character and adventures of its hero attractive in themselves. Tolkien said in his letters that he once read Farmer Giles to the Lovelace Club, which was made in honor of Colonel Richard Lovelace. Additionally, in letter 108, he mentions sending back a copy of Farmer Giles of Ham. While it wasn't exactly written for children like The Hobbit or Letters from Father Christmas, children can also enjoy Farmer Giles of Ham. You will note that, whoever may buy it, this story was not written for children, though as in the case of other books that will not necessarily prevent them from being amused by it. I think it might be as well to emphasize the fact that this is a tale specially composed for reading aloud. It goes very well so, for those that like this kind of thing at all. It was, in fact, written to order, to be read to the Lovelace Society at Worcester College, and was read to them at a sitting. For that reason, I should like to put an inscription to C.H. Wilkinson on a flyleaf, since it was Cole Wilkinson of that college who egged me to it and has since constantly egged me to publication.